Hi, my name is Saranam Mark Greenberg. I'm a spiritual therapist in Mount Shasta, California. Today, talking about sexual shame and what you can do about it. I'm bringing up this subject because um, almost all my clients deal with it. It's almost universal, really. Even if you don't have an obvious reason for sexual shame, like a sexual violation in childhood, or overt teachings from the family that would instill sexual shame. It's very pervasive. It usually starts long before you learn to speak, even in the crib. Just the simple act of a mother always taking your hand away whenever you uh, try to touch your genitals gives you a feeling that there's something wrong there. Why can't you touch them? And also it can create other negative associations. Just imagine if every time you touched your nose, your mother took your hand away, you would start thinking, well, what is this thing? It's part of my body, but I can't touch it. It creates kind of a negative obsession or focus on that area. So, right, there are many reasons for sexual shame, and usually everybody has some of it. Even if you didn't, right, even if it wasn't taught to you in any overt way, empathically, you can also pick it up just directly from your parents. If your mother or your father was raised with some kind of sexual shame or had a sexual trauma, oftentimes you'll feel that again at that young age when we're very open. So, so those are some of the causes. Then what to do about it? Um, so sexual shame, it's usually, always really focused at the sacral chakra, and the root chakra is also often affected, the sacral and the root chakra. So this is the lower abdomen, the emotions, and then down into the pubic bone and the genital area. Sometimes the anus and the tailbone are also affected. That's especially true when there are attachments. So along with just whatever you learned or whatever sexual shame was instilled in you, there are parasitic astral beings that also can attach to sexual shame. And because the sexual energy is very powerful, and they're looking for energy, that's sort of what they're feeding on. That's a common place for them to attach around the sacral chakra. And those are the frequencies, those frequencies of fear and shame that they're operating at. So if something like that attaches to you, and again, that can happen through the family lineage if it's attached to your mother or your father, or it can happen later in life, sometimes through a sexual partner, or sometimes it can just attach directly, then that will add to the sexual shame. Those beings will try to encourage those feelings because, again, that's what they're feeding on. So that can really aggravate the situation. Um, and if there's a particular behavior, sometimes there's a particular behavior that's associated with the shame or that really brings up the shame, they'll try to encourage more of that particular behavior, and that can lead to addictive behavior, obsessive and addictive behavior. So in any case, whether there's attachment or not, uh, the answer to shame is love, is self-love. Obviously, that's the solution or the antithesis. So, but how to find that? So in my work, I teach people how to connect from their hearts through their crown chakra, using the sun as a focal point to connect to the divine light, and then opening their crown to bring that divine light in. At that point, you can bring it all the way down if you're able to go through the root chakra and connect to the earth and open up to the divine presence, the divine light that comes through the earth. Those are two sources that are really directly available to us here, the sun and the earth, two, you might say, clear channels of that divine love or that divine light that are tangible and make it easier to connect to that divine light. I have other videos that talk in more detail about how you can do that practice. But if you're bringing in a big column of that divine light, so if you were doing this practice on your own, you would start in the heart chakra, take some deep breaths to relax into the heart, then connect from your heart through your crown up to the sun, opening to the divine light that pours through the sun from the source of creation, opening your crown to that energy, taking a few breaths, working with the breath, using the breath with intention to open the crown chakra until you've got a big column of light. Now you've got a big column of light, and this energy, this light, the unified field, you might say, it's a presence, it's a living presence, and it has only love for you. None of the judgments that you experienced from your parents or other humans are present in this energy. So you can bring it, and also it's very clearing. So you can bring that energy down, opening the crown chakra, bringing it all the way down the spine to address those areas where there is shame or where there are attachments. So in the case of, for an example, an attachment at the tailbone or the back of the sacrum, you can open the crown chakra, you can bring that light all the way down the spine to the sacrum, to the sacral chakra, and then open the back of the sacral chakra and just allow the divine light to come to you. Let the divine light do the work. There's an infinite supply and it's at a much higher frequency. It's very easy for the divine light to clear out those fear-based or shame-based attachments. So you can bring that right through like a spinal flush, in on the in-breath from the crown to the sacrum, and then out on the out-breath through the back of the tailbone in this example. If you feel an attachment in another area, again, right through the genital area is a common place for sexual attachments, attaching, especially in childhood, attaching to shame in childhood or where there was a traumatic incident. You can bring that energy right down the spine to the sacral chakra, in this case, coming through the front of the sacral chakra, right down through the pubic bone. And then when you run into something where you feel resistance, you just bring that light through to push off the cord. Attachments are cords. Push off the cord, clearing it back to the mother, the father, or whatever person it goes to, clearing that out of your field. Then you're working with your own energy. You can bring that divine presence into the lower abdomen, bringing that presence of divine love back into areas where your own love has been withheld. Even if you're not feeling direct sexual shame that was instilled in childhood, there's a lot of repression that it just happens naturally in childhood. Even if you have very loving parents, normal social indoctrination requires a lot of self-repression. And especially that's true of intuitive qualities. A lot of things that are just a natural part of your expression in childhood will be repressed. You'll hear from the parents, no, you can't do that. You can't behave like that. And as a child, you don't have any other tool but your will, to use your will to hold down and to block the expression of those parts of you that you're learning are a no or not acceptable. And so then your love is withheld from those parts of yourself, and you start getting, a bundle of emotions and aspects of yourself that's held in repression. That usually centers mostly in the lower left abdomen. I call this existential shame, because you're learning that in childhood, long before you go to school, that all these parts of yourself are not acceptable. They're not deserving of love. They feel unworthy. And you can start feeling a sort of existential shame about that. And usually you lose conscious awareness of what those parts actually are. There's just some part of you that doesn't feel good. You're not feeling self-worth. You're feeling shame. It's unclear what the source of that shame is. That kind of existential shame can also get transferred to the sexual energy and become a source of sexual shame. So it's good to bring that divine presence. You're working with, might say, a divine father or a divine mother, bringing that divine love into the lower abdomen and kind of overriding the judgment that came from the physical parents, the biological parents. You're going to a higher authority and bringing love back into those areas where your own love was withheld. That's especially true in the lower left abdomen, and then directly through the sexual energy. So these are some things you can do. If you're able to bring that divine light all the way down through the root chakra to connect to the center of the earth, and you can feel that love coming back up from the earth. That's especially helpful because the earth is like a mother who has only love for you. You know, everyone is held by Mother Earth, and so you can, if you can bring that love up into the lower abdomen, up through the root chakra, and it'll just expand in the lower abdomen and through the lower pubic bone in the genital area. That will really bring this nurturing presence of divine love back into your sexual energy. So that's a very useful practice. Look at my other videos, and I give very specific instructions about connecting to the earth and the sun to access that divine light. You can find my videos on my YouTube channel here or on my website, which is www.saranam.us, SARANAM.us. And feel free to reach out to me there if you have any questions, or you're looking for more help, or you'd like to know the state of your chakra system, your energy field. I'm here to help. Okay, there's a little short introduction and some things you can do to address sexual shame. I hope that helps you on your journey. Many blessings. Bye-bye.